So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, week 5 of the NFL season is coming up. And for the Chicago Bears, they will travel to Washington, D.C. to take on the Washington Commanders on Thursday Night Football, looking to avoid becoming 0-5. In this video, as always, I'm going to give y'all my 3 keys of the game on what I think the Bears should do to be able to win this game. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? JT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears are looking to avoid becoming 0-5 to start the season when they go against, the Washington Commanders on Thursday Night Football. In a game that will definitely be tough, but it's not impossible to win. This might be their last winnable game until the Panthers game in Week 10. This is an important game for, to build confidence and, for the coaching staff to save their jobs. But I'm not going to hold you guys for too much longer. Let's get straight into the video. Let's start with the first key of the game. I think the number one key when you play this Washington Commanders team is you have to generate pressure on the quarterback. If you can't generate pressure on this offensive line, I don't know what you can't do. I don't know what you can do. Sam Howell, if you don't know, is one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL and has a very porous offensive line. It's not Justin Fields this year. It's actually Sam Howell. This might have changed after the Monday night game, after we saw Daniel Jones get sacked a whopping 11 times. But Sam Howell is definitely up there. And let's just be honest, this Washington offensive line is just not good. So you're going to have to generate some pressure. You cannot let Sam Howell sit back there and pick you apart. I think he's a very talented quarterback, by the way. They barely lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in overtime. It took the Eagles to go to overtime to beat this team. And they have a lot of good weapons on that team as well, as Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson. They have a lot of good weapons on that team. I think his name is Brian Robinson, is the running back. Curtis Samuel. They have a lot of good weapons on that team, and if you let Sam Howell sit back there and pick apart this weak cover 2 zone, that's exactly what he's going to do. So for the Bears, I don't care how they do it. They're going to have to generate some type of pressure, whether that defensive 4, finally is able to break through and get some pressure on the quarterback, or they start sending more blitzes to try to get pressure on the quarterback. Whatever you do, get Sam Howell to the ground, make him uncomfortable, and that gives you a very decent chance to win this game. As if you can do that, you can basically shut down the Commanders. That's what the Bills did, and that's how they were able to blow out this Commanders team. Point number 2, as always, this defensive front for the Commanders is lethal. This front 4 for them is lethal. Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. It doesn't get much better than that. I think Josh Sweat is Montez Sweat is still on the roster. He's a good pass rusher. This front 4 is definitely a very good front 4, and they can generate pressure on you like nobody's business. So I think the second key is protect Justin Fields at all costs. And that starts with getting the run game going. I like the way the Bears ran the ball last week. It was north-south. It tired out that defensive front for the Denver Broncos. Granted, it didn't have this much talent on it. But any defense will get tired if you just run them rampant for the entire game. And I think that north-south running that the Bears did last week will be crucial to slowing down that pass rush. Add that to the fact that the Bears were finally able to get the play action going. They got Fields on the move. Regardless of whether they got runs designed for him, they were able to get him on the move. He was able to get the ball out. You can move the ball on this Washington Commanders team. We saw the Broncos do it. We saw the Bills do it. We saw the Eagles do it late in that game. You can move the ball on this Commanders team if you're able to protect your quarterback. That starts with running the ball and, tiring out this defensive front. Once you tire out that defensive front, you can start moving the ball against this team through the air and throwing a little play action, but it all depends on whether they're able to protect Justin Fields. So that means you're gonna have to set up a couple, 7-man protections. Keep a running back there with them. Get him outside the pocket, get him on the move, and run draws. That's a way to keep pressure off of you. run screens, halfback screens. That's a way to slow down this defensive front for the Washington Commanders. But if the Bears are not able to stop that front four for the Washington Commanders, they are going to lose this game. So I think the second point is crucial. Protect Justin Fields at all costs. And finally, point number 3. I know it didn't take that long to get to point number 3, but it's basically the same thing we've been saying all year. Justin Fields has to build off that game last week, and mainly the whole offense does. Now, we will be without Chase Claypool. I'm sure if you have heard already, Chase Claypool was sent home due to the comments that he had made about the coaching staff last week. Whether they were right or wrong, that's up for you to decide. But, I guess it wasn't in Chase Claypool's place to be able to call out the coaching staff, so he has been sent home and he probably won't play, and they're even looking to trade him, so we'll chop that up as a busted trade. But overall, the Bears didn't really miss him like that, as they were able to move the ball pretty well. Fields had a career passing day with 335 yards last week, and we saw a lot of good things coming out of that Bears offense. They were aggressive with running the ball. Khalil Herbert had 108 yards, but he was running north-south. He was running through the tackles. They got the tosses going. Fields was able to move the ball with his arm. He was taking shots downfield, looking for DJ Moore, looking for Cole Kmet. He finally got involved. Darnell Mooney finally got involved after not having a catch in the last game. If they continue to build off that, using that play action, using that run game, getting Fields out the pocket, then start setting up, with the drop backs, getting Fields comfortable dropping back. If they're able to protect him, he can definitely pick you apart that way as well. And you still have his legs. It's that simple. I think the Bears need to build off of what they did last week. Get that, that Commanders defense uncomfortable. Now, they will play a lot more zone, but you can still beat zone with certain things. If they're going to be watching the quarterback with zone, and that means somebody's going to be flashing open, or you can just run the ball, get Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson involved, that would be good. But you have to build off that terrific game plan that they called for the first 3 quarters of that game and take that into this week's game. As this Washington Commanders defense can be had. We've seen it before. We've seen it this season. Get Fields on the move, get it play action going, feed the ball to DJ Moore, feed the ball to Cole Kmet, get Darnell Mooney involved, and be creative on that offensive end. And I think the Bears will have a good chance to move the ball this week on Thursday. So overall, if we're looking at this game, it's a crucial game going in for this, especially for this coaching staff, as you do not want to fall to 0-5, especially with a team that's in dysfunction like the Bears. So this could possibly be the last game for this coaching staff. I'm gonna flip-flop the score from last week. I still think the Commanders win this game 31-28. This defense is gonna be their undoing. They cannot get pressure on the quarterback. I don't know why Matt Eberflus decides to not throw blitzes at quarterbacks, at least consistently. And when they do get a lead, they start playing this soft cover 2 zone that quarterbacks are able to pick apart. And I think that will be their undoing. I think the offense, and being an optimist here, I think the offense will have a pretty good game. I think they'll start off running the ball. I think they'll get, Justin Fields comfortable. I think they'll get him ready to throw the ball a lot more. And I think he can replicate that performance that he had on Sunday. Now, will it be to the level of what happened on Sunday? Probably not, as this is just a better defense. But I think he can somewhat replicate that in the game on Saturday. And I think the Bears will put up points. I think they will come out with fire. Maybe Tevin Jenkins plays. I've heard some rumors about him being available, but that defense, we still have a lot of guys out in our secondary. The pass rush isn't able to get home, and that running game for the Commanders is pretty good as well. So that's why I still have them winning. I think they just outscore us to the point where we're not able to come back. So I got the Commanders winning 31-28. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who do you have winning this game and how? I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears prediction videos. Follow me on social media, as I will be tweeting out stuff before the game starts. Keep an eye on the injury report as usual. And I thank you guys for watching. As always, bear down, and I'm out. Peace.